Why drink a protein shake when you can have ice cream instead? Hey, it's Annie and welcome back to my channel where we talk about all things beauty and wellness. So if you're new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any new videos. Today, I want to share about my obsession with my Ninja Creami ice cream machine and all the different ice cream recipes I've been making with it. This is literally my favorite kitchen appliance and one of the best things I've bought. I am a huge ice cream lover. I freaking love ice cream. But a lot of ice cream is inaccessible to me because I don't eat dairy. If you watch my acne journey video, you'll know that anytime I eat dairy, that always triggers acne for me. So I pretty much always avoid dairy. And when it comes to ice cream, dairy-free options can be pretty limiting, especially in the flavors that I really love. My favorite ice cream flavor has got to be black sesame. And while sometimes I'll see black sesame in the grocery store if I'm lucky, I've never seen a dairy-free black sesame. So I'm just so glad I have this machine now because basically I can make any ice cream flavor I want and I can make it dairy-free. So when it comes to creating these ice cream recipes, this is kind of the formula that I follow. So I'll use a plant milk, a flavoring, a thickener, sweetener, and sometimes an optional protein add-on if I'm feeling like it. And that's how I basically kind of make a creamy. When it comes to plant milk, you can use whatever you'd like. Almond, coconut, oat. Lately, I've been really liking almond milk, so I've been making all of my creamies with almond milk. So for the flavoring, this is the flavor of ice cream you're gonna make. And this could be anything from like a powder flavoring to maybe something like a nut butter. Later, when I show you how I make my black sesame ice cream, I do use a black sesame butter, which is so yummy. You can use flavored syrups, basically anything you like. When it comes to thickener, I'll typically use one out of the three, either protein powder or collagen powder, a pudding mix, or a gum like Guar Gum or xanthan gum. And using one of these just really helps make the ice cream thick and creamy, especially when you're using plant-based milk. As for the sweetener, typically I like to limit my sugar consumption for my skin and my gut, so I've been switching between maple syrup and dates. I really love using pitted dates as a sweetener because I find that dates, when blended up, helps give the creamy a bit more texture and also a little boost of fiber too. But if I don't have dates or if I'm just feeling lazy, maple syrup works as well. You can use any sweetener you'd like. And as for the optional protein add-ons, this year I've really began to focus on strength training, and because of that, I'm really watching my protein intake. So for an extra boost of protein, I also love making protein ice creams with protein powder in it. It's also nice when the protein powder is flavored, and that can really help flavor the ice cream. Like a Vietnamese coffee ice cream I'm going to be showing you later in this video. Because if given the choice between a smoothie or an ice cream for an extra protein boost, I'm definitely going to go for the ice cream. I've also started to add collagen powders into my ice cream as well for a little beauty boost. And in my triple chocolate creamy ice cream recipe later in this video, you'll see me using some chocolate collagen powder, which is so yummy. Before we jump into the recipes, I want to give some tips on how to make your creamies as delicious as possible. Number 1, freeze your creamies without the lid on. Every single time I freeze my creamies with the lid on, it freezes into like this little hump in the middle, and over time, that could potentially damage your machine. So every time I make ice cream, I always make sure to freeze with the lid off. Number 2, let your creamies freeze for at least 18 hours minimum, ideally 24 hours. This could also depend on the strength of your freezer, but it's not fun when the creamy isn't fully frozen. You stick it in the machine, you go to blend it, and it's not that creamy texture, and it's actually just like more liquidy. Not really ice cream at all. So be sure to plan ahead and give your creamies plenty of time to freeze so you can get that yummy ice cream texture. Number 3, don't be afraid to respin. If you're not happy with the texture, I always like to pour a little bit of plant milk inside and hit the respin button. And sometimes I'll respin a creamy up to 3 times. So don't be afraid to respin. It's totally worth it. So the first flavor up is my favorite flavor, black sesame. You can see the way that it froze is very flat because I froze this with the lid off. So for this recipe, I used 2 cups of almond milk, 1 tablespoon of black sesame butter, 2 tablespoons maple syrup, and 2 tablespoons of vanilla pudding mix. And then I'm gonna hit the light ice cream mode. Let's see how it looks. This is what the texture is looking like. It is a little bit powdery. I'm gonna add in some almond milk and we'll just respin. You also don't need a ton, just a splash of almond milk works. And then we'll click this back into place and we'll hit respin. Looking pretty good, definitely creamier, but I think we can do better. So let's do another respin. Oh my god, that looks so good. Look at how creamy that looks. I'm gonna take a scoop of this. Do a second scoop. Black sesame dairy-free ice cream. This looks so good. This is literally my favorite flavor of ice cream. I'm so excited to try. Let's do a taste test. This is so good. I also love how using almond milk and the pudding mix is keeping the texture really light. And when black sesame ice cream is done right, with this saltiness, this richness, this nuttiness balanced out with this light sweetness, it is so good. That was delicious. 10 out of 10. So next up, we have a decaf Vietnamese coffee flavor. And this is an example where the flavor is really coming from a protein add-on. I used a Vietnamese coffee protein powder to create this creamy. And for the exact recipe, I used about 2 cups of plant milk, a scoop of the Vietnamese coffee protein powder from Boba Nutrition, 1 tablespoon of pudding mix, and 1 tablespoon of maple syrup. So let's spin this up. Again, I'm gonna use the light ice cream mode. Okay, let's see what it looks like. So again, looking very powdery, but we can always fix that. Just a little bit of almond milk. And then we respin. And let's do another respin. I might give it one more respin. Okay, she's ready. Oh, that looks so good. Wow, Stoonin', look at that texture. Oh my god. This is so good. It's just such a hack if you have a really yummy tasting protein powder because you can just easily make a creamy with it. We just mainly use the protein powder, added in some pudding mix, some maple syrup for sweetener, and almond milk. It was just so easy, 4 ingredients. And definitely check out Boba Nutrition Co. They have a bunch of different flavored protein powders, all based on boba flavors. So next up, we have another one of my favorite flavors, matcha. And for this creamy, I used 2 cups of almond milk, 1 teaspoon of matcha whisked into some hot water. And it's really important that you take this extra step of whisking matcha into the hot water, so then that way you don't get any clumps of matcha in your ice cream. Then I used 1 tablespoon of vanilla pudding mix, 2 dates, and 1/4 of a teaspoon of Guar Gum. So I'm gonna put it in now. And then we're gonna do light ice cream again. Let's see how it looks. Definitely need some almond milk. Let's throw it back in. We'll do a respin. Let's do 1 more respin. Let's actually do 1 more respin. That is stunning. Also, this is the first creamy recipe where we've used 2 dates as well as Guar Gum. So you'll notice the texture is a little different. And now it's time for the taste test. This is really good. With matcha, if you like things a bit on the sweeter side, I would use an additional date or 2 or even 1 to 2 tablespoons of maple syrup to balance out the matcha. But I mean, this is still really good. So next up, we have this blue spirulina flavor. For this recipe, I used 2 cups of almond milk, 1 scoop of blue spirulina, 1 tablespoon of pudding mix, and 1 date. So let's spin this up. Again, we're gonna do the light ice cream mode. I'm gonna add some almond milk. Now let's do a respin. Let's do another respin. 1 more time. Okay, let's see what it looks like. Oh my gosh, that's stunning. It looks so yummy. Let's see what the texture of this one is like. And remember, I only used pudding mix and a date. I do feel like this is a bit icier when compared to the matcha, but I mean, it still looks very smooth and creamy. Now let's do a little taste test. It's really good. The thing is, blue spirulina doesn't really taste like much, so it has a very light flavor. This is very not too sweet. If you want it sweeter, feel free to add in a few more dates or a few tablespoons of maple syrup or whichever sweetener you prefer. You cannot deny how gorgeous this color is. And my last flavor for today is my triple chocolate protein collagen ice creamy. For this recipe, I first use about 2 cups of plant milk, half a scoop of Truvani chocolate protein powder, half a serving of Vital Proteins chocolate collagen, 1 tablespoon of chocolate pudding mix, 1 tablespoon of cacao powder, 1 teaspoon of instant coffee to really bring out those chocolatey flavors, and 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. And this just looks so beautiful and chocolatey. And this is one of my favorite flavors because there's so many layers of chocolate going on. So let's throw this in the creamy. And again, we're gonna do the light ice cream mode. You know what time it is. It's almond milk time. I'm gonna put it back in the machine and do a respin. Do another respin. Oh my gosh, that looks amazing. But for this one, I actually do have a mix and I want to add in, and it is these Lily's dark chocolate chips. I like to pour some chocolate chips right down the middle like so. Use however much you want. And there's also a mix-in setting that you can select. Okay, let's see what it looks like. Yummy. It's gonna be so good, especially with the dark chocolate chips added in. See what that texture looks like. Oh, looks so creamy. Might be the creamiest one yet. Okay, now let's do a taste test. This is so good. And adding in the dark chocolate chips just helps boost the chocolatiness even more. And I also love this recipe because not only do you get that yummy chocolate flavor, but you get a really nice boost of protein with the protein powder, as well as collagen with the collagen powder. Who says you can't get more beautiful from eating ice cream? So good. I hope you enjoyed those recipes. Let me know if you end up making any. I'm always experimenting and testing around with new flavors, so let me know if you think I should do any specific flavors for part 2 of this video. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next video.